I'm delighted to be joined this morning by Gordon Smart, the editor of the Scottish Sun. Gordon, you've been down in London for the past 10 years and came back at the beginning of this year to edit the paper. How have you found it returning to the Scottish media market?
It's great coming home. I've actually been back 6 months now, so my feet are well and truly under the table. But it's great to see Scottish journalism in a healthy state. I think it's fair to say that the newspaper industry, particularly in the tabloid market, is doing pretty well, and the Sun's at the forefront of that.
And there are no shortage of issues in Scotland at the moment. How is it that the Scottish Sun is really tackling those with a distinctive Scottish accent?
Well, of all the years to come back, this is the year to do it. Commonwealth Games, Ryder Cup, referendum, MTV Music Awards and many other things happening. So it was a great time to be back at a vibrant, lively newspaper. How do we handle it differently? Well, I think it's with a smile on our face. I think that's what the Scottish Sun is all about. And if you look at the front page of the year we won recently at the Scottish Press Awards, I think that's a perfect example of how we handle a big story that everyone has very differently. It was Egg to the Future. I sort of spin on Back to the Future with Alex Salmon and the Michael J. Fox role. So that's how we do things, a bit differently and with a smile on our face.
But you've got a team here in Glasgow, but also you've got access to all the content out of London. What's a typical day in terms of the sort of aggregation of that content look like at the Sun?
It's interesting, it's not an exact science, every day is different. It could be one day where we have a completely Scottish edition, and that for me is the dream. We shouldn't be an English paper with Scottish content, we should be a Scottish paper with some national content. So it differs from day to day, but on the whole I think we've got a very clear Scottish stamp on proceedings, and it helps when we have so much to write about this year.
But you still have the same core Sun values going. You stand for your reader, you're very strong on campaigns. How can PRs help sort of feed into the way in which you operate?
Well, that's absolutely right. We have exactly the same values as the national edition. And the phrase in the office is we just have a kilt on it, we thistle it up. So with the PRs, I think it's about having a healthy relationship, where we respect what the PR business does. I think some traditional views might be that they could be a hindrance, but I see it very differently after 14 years working in newspapers down in London. We can work very closely together, and it's something I encourage as the editor of the paper.
Gordon, thank you very much.
No problem.